I'm going to hand these down because I was told last time not to go up and hand them down. So on Saturday, November 2nd, from 2 to 3:30 p.m. at the Miami Township Library, there is going to be a Republicans and Friends for Shelter Reform event. So if you can come, tell your friends. You obviously don't have to be a Republican. That's why it says friends, Republicans and friends. We can make you into Republicans, real Republicans, not rhino Republicans. If you show up, there'll be live interactive input using the keypad system. There will also be leave it blank slate cards. I will never encourage anybody to vote for the crazy Democrats in this county, but I will encourage them to send a message by leaving their ballot blank for the 2 commissioner races that are up this time. We have to have better Republican leadership. And you have seen it here. What happens? The Republican system in Clermont County has become a rotten apple full of cronyism, patronage, and protecting insiders. That's why we get mediocre elected officials. Bonnie, in the endorsement meeting, you ran on a platform of never returning the shelter to Humane Society control. Then you were the one saying, well, we get to put it up for bid. The point is, we need better leadership. These are not conservative Republicans. They're not effective Republicans. And I will say and say again that the stuff that you see happening at the shelter, multiply it 100 times over for the inefficiency and the waste of taxpayer money and resources in this county. This area gets focused because people that love animals, I mean, talk about dumb. Nobody in their right mind has the government run an animal shelter. I'm still looking for a name of a county that does it other than ours because of exactly the disaster that we see here. We have these people, you have a shelter acting director that says she has no idea how to run a shelter. You have these people making decisions as to animals. It is crazy. And with all due respect on your remarks, I love you, I think. But, okay, this has been 3.5 years. And I'm not wanting to make this political, but these same people would be the ones saying, Kamala Harris can't stand up there and say she's not responsible for the last 3.5 years. They're responsible for the last 3.5 years. In all due respect, it's not like this wasn't obvious 6 months in, 8 months in, 9 months in. They have dug on their heels. So you say you just got involved. Well, part of that is you don't realize this has been a problem for a decade. And twice it has been a problem of underfunding humane societies. Then with Mr. Painter in the lead, they decided, we'll show them, we can do it cheaper. Now they spend about 2.5 times the tax money on the shelter. That does not include cats, okay? And actually less money gets spent on the animals because, see, the issue is government can't fundraise. Nobody gives money to for government. They give money to humane societies. And humane societies, the last humane society was raising almost $1 million a year. What the problem was is it wasn't sustainable to keep raising that amount of money. So it's like we got to meet in the middle. So this is just going to keep up. I looked on the agenda. I didn't see something for approving an RFP to go out the door. I keep reminding them, you already had an RFP. Don't bullshit us that you can't have an RFP. You already had one. The issue was not the RFP. The issue was agreement on the money. So what's the problem? Why now do they say it's going to take months? You know what's funny? Politicians. They want to take months until right after the election we'll fix it. Now, I'm a conservative, so I'll say this. Don't get mad at me if you're not. That's just like Kamala Harris, right? Right after the election, I'm going to fix all these problems. They're not going to fix shit. So they have dug their heels in. They've got to get the RFP out the door. I love that in the letter it talked about the mugshot book, you know, and I love, Ms. Corcoran, that you're like, Nikki Potts should be here. You realize people have to work? This is 10 o'clock on a work day. So to sit there and arrogantly say she needs to be here, go shove it. Shove it. Shove it.
You want to say that again to me?
Yeah, shove it.
That's really nice, Mr. Hicks.
Okay,
nice.
I'm telling you, when you criticize a taxpayer, none of you have the right to criticize a taxpayer. They're the ones working right now for the money for you to waste on the shelter with things that aren't going to solve the problem. Okay, so last thing I want to hit on. Mr. Painter, other commissioners, can I film at the shelter today?
We're not here to address you, Mr. Hicks. Go ahead.
So you won't answer that question again. So once again, the citizens are not allowed to see the shelter, but the dog and pony press tour and the Angie Livesey screwed up Zoom meeting, echo chamber nonsense. By the way, remember, what did I do? I bolted out of the room. You got mad at me because I could go over there so I could observe all the dogs are outside. Okay, it was a dog and pony show. I sat there and I figured I got to run over there because they probably set this up to make it look better, and that's exactly what they did.
Your time's up.
It's disgusting, guys.
Exit the podium.
November 2nd, I'll hand out the cards.
Thank you, Mr. Hicks. Thank you.